and thanks for tuning in. My name's Rob Tart, this is my cow Fluffy, and you're watching Pie's Perspective. Alright Fluffy, it's go time. A 53-year-old New York man committed a burglary on a Brooklyn apartment. Now if somebody burglarized my home, I think I would immediately inventory all of my valuables. I would check my jewelry, my money, my electronics, things like that. These are the items that I would expect to be stolen. I think the last thing I would check is my toilet, as my assumption would be that that would be the last thing on a burglar's list. Hell, I doubt it's even on a burglar's list. And if it is on your list and you're a burglar, you need help. You know, I gotta wonder if burglars even keep a list. You know, check off items as you steal them. I digress. Now, as it turns out, that's exactly what this guy stole. He ignored all of the typical loot and staggered off with the apartment owner's toilet. The burglar later returned to the scene of the crime and threatened the apartment owner by saying that he was going to slit his throat. So you steal a guy's commode and then you threaten to kill him? Crazy much? I can only assume that he decided to steal the toilet because either A, he's strung out on some really high quality crack, or B, his toilet broke and he really can't afford a new one. I mean, it's not like he could resell it to anybody. You know, take it to a latrine chop shop, have them remove the serial number, give it a paint job, you know, maybe some nice flames, and then sell it on the black market. I personally can't understand how he was able to even remove the toilet in the first place. I mean, you would have to get down on the floor to detach the toilet and the pipes. The idea of having my face close to where the homeowner plants his ass to make a deposit just doesn't appeal to me. I mean, maybe if he brought some disinfectants or a flamethrower to sanitize the toilet first. I can think of a few other things that should probably not be on your items to steal list if you're a burglar. Underwear comes to mind. If it's been in contact with somebody else's fun zone, avoid it at all costs. A toothbrush is another one. I mean, even if it looks fairly new, it's been in someone else's mouth. False teeth, for obvious reasons. Vibrators and sex toys. If you decide you're going to take them, at least run them through the dishwasher before you use them. Now, the media likes to give nicknames to burglars, and I'm wondering if they'll give this guy a nickname. The Turd Burglar, the Poo Bandit, the Toilet Taker, the Commode Creeper. Alright, who wants ice cream? We have the Thumbs Upsicle, the Subscribesicle, the 3-flavor Favesicle, and the Comment on a Stick. Please, help yourself to anything you like. A 19-year-old man from Henderson, Nevada was arrested for burglary by police. Now, following typical police procedure, they cuffed the man and put him in the back of a cruiser. While sitting in the back of the cruiser, the man managed to slide his handcuffs from behind his back. He then snaked through a square-foot wide hole in the plexiglass that separates the front of the car from the back. One of the police officers later stated that the man was pretty thin. The man then drove off with the cop car while handcuffed. What's amazing is the guy actually drove a couple of miles before he abandoned the car, where he was eventually discovered and apprehended. I gotta wonder what this guy was thinking. I mean, was he actually hoping to get away with it? If you're trying to get away from the cops, being in handcuffs tends to make you look conspicuous and it impedes progress. You add stealing a cop car on top of that and it doesn't exactly scream subtle to me. He had to know that even after he ditched the car, he would probably get a few raised eyebrows while walking down the street in handcuffs. Unless, of course, he was wearing leather chaps and nipple rings, in which case people would just assume that he's into medieval sex. Maybe the guy figured he would just walk to the nearest hardware store and ask an employee at the customer service counter if they sell lockpick tools. And then when he or she says no, ask them to direct you to where they sell the bolt cutters. And then maybe ask a random customer to give you a hand with the bolt cutters, but let them know that you're a little rushed for time. Now, I wonder what the cops did after they arrested this guy the second time. Cuff his feet? Hog tie him? Use duct tape? Put him in a straitjacket? Cover him in corn syrup? I think it would be really impressive if this guy actually got away from the cops while wearing a straitjacket. It might also get him a consulting job with David Copperfield. Today's question/leave a comment of the day is, think of some other items that it probably wouldn't be a good idea to steal from someone's home. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, it's not necessarily right or wrong, it's just my perspective. Fluffy, are you sure you packed this parachute correctly? Fluffy, are you okay? Oh, thank bovine for that. I think the last thing I would check, if I would even, and if it is on a burglar, and staggered off with the apartment owners, I personally can't remember my next line. The Turd Burglar? A 19-year-old man from somewhere. The man managed to slide his, the man then drove off with the cop car. You add stealing a cop car on top of the hat, it doesn't exactly